Hello there once again, it's your old pal Locke the Bounty Hunter, and on today's very special episode, we're going to be taking a look at another video from It's Complicated, one of the greatest channels on YouTube as far as I'm concerned. The man is truly worthy of an unlimited pass to the cafeteria of the office of the intergalactic space god Flobacherd, all hail, playing games. The link is in the description down below. Let's not waste any more time and dive right in, shall we?
If you had to wear your body count on a jersey, would you be a quarterback, kicker, or defensive player?
I'd be a bench warmer. Wait, ignore that last comment.
Oh, I'd be a defensive player.
Why?
It's complicated.
He said the thing. He said the thing.
Kicker's numbers are low and the quarterback's numbers are low, and I'd probably be more fitting with the defensive players.
I'll be a kicker because I kick her out.
Hey-o! Dude, these guys are on. Oh my god. This is. Oh man, this is why I love this guy.
Back, I guess.
Why?
Because quarterbacks get in and they get out real quick. I don't know.
I'd be Nick Bosa.
I'd be Nick Bosa.
When it comes to dating, are men forced to play the game or be on the bench?
Forced to play the game.
100% forced to play the game.
How does a guy get from the friend zone to the end zone?
Right here.
The easiest way to get out of the friend zone is to never allow yourself to be in there in the first place. If she tries treating you like a friend and you don't want that, then just walk away. It'll either drive her nuts or she'll let you go. Either way, it's win-win for you.
Why is it when a guy gets laid, we say that he scored?
Because he went all the way.
Why?
Yeah.
Because it's all a win for the man.
Which of the following statements do you think is more true? A man's ideal woman is a bro in the body of a hot chick, or a woman's ideal man is a woman in the body of a handsome man?
Oh, the first one. A bro in the body. Yeah, like seriously.
Modern women don't know what they want when it comes to a man. They just end up spewing out whatever gibberish they can think of, thinking that's what they want. When they end up getting it, they end up hating it, and they're confused as to why.
Like my guy and I, like I'm a fucking football chick. I'm a total sports nut, so I'm more like a bro for sure.
It's my boy right here. He's a woman in the body of a handsome man.
Isn't one a tomboy while the other's a gay man?
Absolutely.
Isn't one a tomboy while the other's a gay man?
Yes.
If women want men to connect with them on a deeper level than just sex, why don't more women take interest in male hobbies like sports and video games rather than fashion and pop culture?
Because they don't feel like they should have to. Modern women think of men as little boys, that we're just these immature little idiots that wouldn't be able to survive without our freaking mothers. These are women who do not think men are capable of cooking, cleaning, or even showering. So they see things like sports and video games as immature, and then they turn around and spend like $200 on a freaking Taylor Swift ticket and think that they're just absolutely living their best lives. Go figure.
Because they got that, oh.
Because women are still old school, and so we are the prize. And
That is not an old school mentality. The old school mentality is women thinking men are the prize. This idea that women are the prize, it's not even a new school mentality because it's one of the most uneducated things you can think of. So maybe it's a new public school mentality, if you will.
so they feel like men have to still chase after them.
I think the best women take more interest in sports and video games, and it's the best sex.
We do it all.
We 100% do take an interest in anything that is sports related, whether it be
100%.
men or women.
Liar, liar, liar. Here is the ultimate test to know if these broads are truly into women's sports. Look at them dead in the eye and tell them to name 3 WNBA teams. Watch their faces go blank. They'll also call you a misogynist afterwards.
And then why can't men do the same thing? Why can't they sew and knit?
A lot of men actually learned how to sew in the Scouts because it's an incredibly valuable skill. I know how to sew, just badly I might add, but I still know how to do it.
Come sit with us and watch the TV. My mother was in a football pool growing up, so every night she'd call in her picks, so I kind of picked that up.
Why are the men who sit around all day playing video games or watching porn seen as less productive than the men who sit around all day watching sports?
Because it's two completely different stereotypes. On one side, you've got the loser who watches the hub of corn and plays video games all day. He is considered to be, the stereotypical neckbeard, overweight, face ridden with pimples, probably hasn't showered in 3 days. He wears the headset and all he does is scream racist things into a microphone. Meanwhile, you got the sports guy. Sports are typically viewed as more masculine. So if you are big into sports, you're more considered to be a man's man or a guy's guy or something like that.
Well, that is a great question. I would say they're more productive. They just have more dexterity in their hands.
Football makes you look more like a man and brute and strong, whereas porn makes you look like a pervert.
How much you want to bet she has her own login and password to certain websites?
Ugh, God, it's just so lame. Like, stop playing the video games. Let's go to a football game.
Lady, if I'm going to a football game, how am I ever going to find out the ending to RoboCop versus Terminator on the Super Nintendo? Think about these things before you say them, woman.
Why do people watch men's sports more than women's, including the women themselves?
Because male athletes are superior.
I wholeheartedly agree. Nobody is interested in women's sports. They never have been. I think except maybe that one time in World War II when all the men were fighting and they had that all-women's baseball league. But I think that's more of an exception and not the rule itself. Human beings are interested in watching masculine men compete. They are not interested in watching women do that. It is just not as biologically exciting.
It's common knowledge that the NBA earns far more money than the WNBA. Do you think they should receive equal pay?
Hell no! Nobody cares about the WNBA. Remember back when Brittany Griner was traded for that Russian arms dealer who was responsible for the deaths of millions? Nobody even knew which team she played for.
Hell no.
Why?
Because they don't bring in the same revenue. They're not bringing in as many viewers, as much money, as much endorsement deals.
That and it's boring. Women's basketball is boring. Call me a misogynisms if you want, but you know it and I know it.
You know that. Of course I do, sir. Everybody knows that. Of course we do, sir.
To be fair, my stepdad did tell me WNBA is more popular in other countries than the U.S.
Really, what countries are those? Outside of America, by far the world's most popular sport is soccer, or football for you guys who are over the pond. And soccer is a worldwide phenomenon to the point where we have seen literal riots break out because a team either won or lost. In comparison, how popular is the WNBA? The way I see it, I don't see anyone even lighting a cigarette on fire whenever their favorite women's basketball team loses.
A lot of the sports players, they get paid an exorbitant amount, so I think that money should be shared more equally and spread out.
Nobody cares what you think.
Why? Why should we be rewarding basketball players for subpar work, especially when that work is not really wanted by anybody who consumes the media? I'm sorry, but there's a reason why male basketball players are getting endorsements, why they're getting paid obscene amounts of money. And nobody can name me 3 women's basketball players from the last 6 years.
To people who need it.
Part of it's because there's more teams in the NBA. That's also because there's a lot more in the media rights side of things.
Well, if there are more teams, that must mean there is more money to fund those teams. If there are fewer teams in the WNBA, it's because nobody gives a damn.
NBA owns both, so they absolutely could. That said, it's probably not going to make shareholders happy. So until the shareholders are happy and actually could do it, or go to more of like a tennis model, then it's probably not going to happen.
That is exactly right. The WNBA does not turn as big of a profit because nobody cares. They're not just going to magically do it to appease the invisible gods of equity. That's not how it works. They are businesses, and businesses are designed to do one thing, and that is turn a profit. And if we actually take a look at a lot of the business models that are happening right now, they can't even do that right.
If they were at the same level, I think the WNBA WNBA need to become more hype and get out there and get more endorsements. So I'm hoping that they have equal opportunity to do that.
So essentially what you're saying is that a multi-billion-dollar corporation needs to just flush a whole bunch of endorsement money down the toilets. The whole point of an endorsement is to get a return on an investment. It's not going to work no matter how much your fifis think otherwise.
So they can be just as popular as the NBA.
Why should we have equal pay? Why don't we judge that purely off of competition?
Well, I mean, you have a point. It's just, I think that people should be getting paid for their performance. And
they do. Women's basketball players suck. Then they get paid for that performance. It's fairly cut and dry.
And how good they are at what they do, but I don't think that it should be based on gender.
What are your thoughts on the X League having women play football in lingerie? Are these women being objectified?
They are absolutely being objectified because that's what puts asses in seats. They are absolutely being objectified. However, they are also getting paid to do that. Nobody's forcing them to. Nobody is forcing these broads to wear lingerie and play football. They are doing it of their own volition because they are getting paid. And that type of business model, regardless of your opinion, is going to make more money than fully clothed women playing basketball.
I would think that they were being objectified, but at the same time, that's what a lot of males want to see these days.
Oh God, well, I myself am a bikini and lingerie model.
Remind me never to attend one of your shoots.
I'm a Maxim cover girl, so I think that, you know, it's kind of...
Nobody cares, Sean. Nobody cares.
Maxim is still a thing? Jeez, I thought that thing went out of print after those hillbillies went blind.
Cool. It's empowering if they feel that that's what they want to do.
I mean, if the woman consent, I can't say nothing about that. So like, as long as they're not forced to do it, I don't care.
Why will women admit that men are physically stronger when they want protection while also thinking that biological men should compete in women's sports?
They don't actually think about what they say before they say it. They just say it and then automatically believe it to be true. A modern woman is just an oblivious, walking, talking contradiction.
I do not understand that at all.
I struggle with that because even though that person is identifying as women, their makeup is still as a man, like their bone structure. You cannot change your bone structure.
Yeah.
So I feel like there should be even another category outside of male and female. It should be like a whole nother gender category for the...
That is something that would lose money at the end of the day. By changing it now, all you have done is completely diminish the meritocracy of competition by including that third category that shall remain nameless.
Those type of sports.
If feminism is such a strong political movement, why don't they complain about transgenders dominating women's sports?
Because they're too high off the smell of their own farts. Let's just be honest here. And deep down, they really don't care. All they care about are themselves. And anyone who gets in the way, it's just a hateful bigot. They'll actually rally behind phobias, but only when it benefits them.
That is a great question. I don't think that should be allowed at all. I don't think a man should be allowed to compete in a women's sport. But I say if a woman wants to, let them try.
Why is it that it's only men competing in women's sports, but never women competing in the men's sports?
Because women don't want to be in a men's locker room?
Oh, that is because they wouldn't get dominated on.
Would you let your daughter compete against a transgender woman in MMA or boxing?
No.
Oh God, no. No way. We've already seen countless examples of what happens when you actually have that type of person go up against a biological male. It's brutal.
Oh, not a chance, because she'd get pummeled.
If she a bodybuilder, I mean, you see, there's actual woman body.
Woman, what do you know about exercise? I'm just gonna say it. What do you know about exercise? You really need to stick to your own lane, but I have absolutely no idea what the hell that is.
Builders, so yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't suggest it, but if that's what she wants to do, I would allow it.
Should there be equal outcomes in sports?
No. That completely defeats the purpose of sports. It makes it boring and uninteresting.
No, there would never be equal outcomes in sports because you're competing for an outcome.
So then why do we pick and choose?
Why do we pick and choose?
Because the people demand overly simplistic solutions to complicated problems that never should have existed in the first place.
What?
When we have competition and when we have equality.
That's a good question. I don't know. Good question.
What's the difference between a football coach and a dating coach?
One's actually good at their job.
That dating coach ain't gonna win nothing.
Football coaches are like, get out there and play, baby. And dating coaches are like, get out there and play, baby.
Wrong! That's wrong!
While football coach monitors the play style of all of his players, points out what they're doing wrong, and forces them to do better. A dating coach just gives out advice that does nothing but sabotage the lives of everyone around them.
What does it mean to have game?
Spirits.
What's the difference between a dating game, having game, and playing games? And why do we use the same word for all three things?
One is fun, one takes skill, and the other one is just not worth it. Go ahead and try to figure out which one.
Because it's all a game.
If you got game, it comes to you natural. Don't do nothing. They're there. If you're playing the game, you're trying to run it on them. You know what I mean? As far as see what you can get out of them.
Just so long as I don't have to add any additional commentary, yes, I do know what you mean.
Do you think women want men to understand them better?
Yes.
No. No, man. Shit, no, man. I believe you get your ass kicked saying something like that, man.
Women want men just to do as they say and accept them for their irresponsible life choices. That's just how it is nowadays.
What's the difference between understanding women versus analyzing women's behavior?
One is a complete waste of time, and the other one is an even larger waste of time. And that is going to do it for today's video, gentlemen and gents. And as always, if you find that my particular brand of comedy is bringing you to the brink of laughter, then why don't you scroll on down and click that like and subscribe button. Ring the notification bell, leave a couple of comments, share this video. Let's give the good old-fashioned middle finger to the YouTube algorithm. Once again, thank you so much to the It's Complicated channel for yet another fantastic video. Thank you so much, sir. You truly are a magnificent human being. Thank you so much for checking out the new video, and until next time, peace out, homies.